Hello drummers, Gary Williams here again, and in this video segment I want to discuss why learn and practice rudiments. Well, first of all, just a little background about what is a rudiment. It originally was a snare drum playing a specific rhythmic pattern to keep people with weapons in time. That's kind of the first origin of a rudiment. It's traced back to France. So anything that you play, any kind of rhythmic pattern, could be construed as a rudiment. Now, when we discuss rudiments specifically, I think we all understand we're talking about the rudiments that are used by many drummers in marching band situations, perhaps concert snare drum situations, and certainly applied on the drum set. Now, there are 40 rudiments. The Percussive Art Society has put these together in 4 categories. The first category is called roll rudiments. The second category is called diddle rudiments, as in paradiddles. The third category is flam rudiments, and then the fourth category is drag rudiments. Now, when we discuss the rudiments, there's really only 3 strokes in the rudimental family. There is the single stroke, the double stroke, and the multiple stroke, which is 3 or more. And when we look at the roll rudiments, they are in 4 different categories of rolls: the single stroke rolls, the multiple bounce rolls, the double stroke roll itself, and then measured rolls, 5-stroke rolls, 6-stroke rolls, 7 strokes, on up through 17. They are a combination of double and single strokes. As we get into the flams, we have a combination of 2 single strokes overlapped in different combinations. The diddle rudiments are a combination of singles and doubles, and the drag rudiments are a combination of singles and doubles. So as we examine the rudiments, we'll see that there really are just 3 foundational strokes that make up the entire language. And the Percussive Art Society has given us what they call the 7 essential rudiments, which are basically the vowels of the rudimental language. They are the foundational rudimental patterns that help you to learn to play all 40 rudiments. Those are the single stroke roll, the double stroke roll, the multiple bounce roll, the 5-stroke roll, the paradiddle, flams, and drags. So that's a basic overview of what a rudiment is. So why should you practice them? Well, I just discussed rudiments in the nature of language. We have categories. We can use rudiments like we could use words. We could use strokes like letters. So when you combine strokes together in various combinations, you get different sounding strokes or rudiments or words. So after a period of time, when you establish a long-term vocabulary of different sticking patterns or different words, you can construct more interesting sentences with your rudimental patterns. So of course, the biggest reason why anybody might want to spend time practicing rudiments is to become more fluent in expressing the ideas that they hear in their head. And you have to do it through sticks. So if you have an expansive vocabulary of techniques, then of course you have a method by which you can communicate your ideas musically very effectively. So how to practice them? Well, you would want to break them down into individual exercises and learn the single stroke roll effectively, slow to fast to slow. The same with the double stroke roll, as well as the multiple bounce roll. And then from there you'd move through the different 7 essential rudiments. I will be talking more in detail about the various 7 essential rudiments on some upcoming videos, so you can check those out in the near future, where I will actually demonstrate and discuss how to play each of these. How to apply them to the drum set. I will also be demonstrating that in some upcoming videos. I have a DVD on that nature right now at my Drum Set Artistry website. But you would just simply move hand patterns around to combinations of sounds. Most of the time we'll practice on a pad, perhaps a snare. You could take simple sticking patterns like single stroke rolls and just start moving one hand around the set in different combinations. And by doing that, you're going to blend various different sound combinations. And then beyond that, you can expand by using dynamics, moving one hand up and down higher, creating more dynamic contrast, so that you're not just playing a sticking pattern at a monodynamic level, but you're shaping the sound. So you're taking a basic rudimental motion and you're expressing its sound combinations around the instrument, and not only in different combinations but at different volume levels. So that's a great way to start moving into utilizing the drum sets and applying them the rudiments to the drum set. How to play them musically, that's something we'll have to get into as we talk about each rudiment individually. Some rudiments are duple based. In other words, they're based on 8th and 16th notes, so they're going to fit very nicely into 8th note or 16th note groove patterns and fills. Other rudiments may have a better effect if they're a triplet-based rhythm because of the nature of the rudiment, so those might be more naturally applicable to triplet-based music, jazz, and shuffles, for example. So as we move on in our discussions in rudiments, I'm going to give you a basic foundation of why learn and practice rudiments, and then there's more that we'll get into specifically as we get the pad and the sticks out and we go through each one. So stay tuned for more information. If you'd like to learn more about my educational experience, go to www.drumsetartistry.com and more about my performance background at www.garywilliams.com. Thanks, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.